All right, Kevin. Colorado, the Buffaloes. What do we do with this? Because remember, you and I talked. This was 4 months ago. They were not going to beat TCU. They were going to get killed. They won that game. And then all of America's talking about Colorado. They beat Nebraska. All of America's talking about Colorado. By the end of the season, not a lot of people were talking about Colorado. What? Can you even give me a pulse on the program right now?
There's a lot of excitement. I think the good thing about Colorado that they do is they stay relevant. Even when they were losing, they lost 8 of their last 9.
Which is not good.
It's not good. Not recommended. Not doctor recommended.
Right.
You're probably not going to win a lot of prize picks money on that. Don't go Colorado win plus Taylor Swift's boyfriend to get 10 catches or whatever it is. No, I think they stayed relevant, which helped them brand wise. People are excited about Coach Prime. And I think a lot of us forgot. So there was 3 stages of the Colorado season. It was like, oh my gosh, are they the best team ever? And then it was like, okay, they're not as good as the top 12 or the top Pac-12 teams, right? I mean, not crazy. And then it was, oh gosh, this is a dumpster fire. Like that's where the 3 stages were. But throughout that, we have to remember they won 4 games. Their projected total was 3.5. Their roster was not really. Their weapons were good. Receivers, defensive backs, solid. Trenches, horrendous. Like it was, they gave up 56 sacks or something like that. They couldn't stop the run. It was bad. But again, Deion Sanders attracts talent. We've seen it with the portal already. We've seen it with recruiting. They went from like 62nd to now they have the 27th class or 20. They had top 25 class. I don't know the number. But they're trending up. And so you have to think of like improvement. You have to take on your either I hate Deion Sanders or I love Deion Sanders classes, and you have to look at what they're doing. And what they're doing is improving the roster where they need it, and they're improving just in general as a team.
Does Colorado have the most potential of any new Big 12 team to become the next Oklahoma or what Oklahoma was to the Big 12?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if they could be like at that level and sustain it because right now they're benefiting from having Shedeur Sanders, who's like, probably the
very
best.
Good.
He's very good. And so it's like, are they going to continue to keep high level quarterback play? I say it on my show all the time. Deion Sanders will never have issues recruiting defensive backs. He will never have issues recruiting wide receivers, running backs. It's the trenches. It's the quarterbacks. Is he going to attract those guys to his program? He had one and he lost it in Antoine Hill, the 2025 quarterback. But I do think they have potential to kind of be in the mix for one of the best teams in the Big 12 constantly because he attracts talent. Kids think he's cool. It's really rare that a high school kid thinks someone above the age of 30 is cool. Well, he's Coach Prime. He's prime time. He's exciting. He's on social media. They have documentaries about him. He has his own shoe. And so that's kind of the modern college football coach. And so I think that helps him in recruiting. And I think they realistically could be one of the better teams in the Big 12. It's just a matter of improving in the trenches. I don't really believe in this notion that they could just add offensive line in the trenches or in the portal every year. It's working-ish this year. It's better than what it was. But I think they need to recruit and develop better than what we've seen.
Let me change the vernacular on that question.
Okay.
Is Colorado the Big 12's biggest star, newest star, the darling of the league?
Absolutely. It's all about brand names. It's not to say that they're better than everyone. It's not to say that they're a better program than Texas Tech, Baylor, TCU, whatever it may be. They haven't done anything in like a decade and a half almost. Like have been irrelevant as it comes, but now they're relevant. And they're as relevant as anyone. If you look at the top 12-ish games most watched this year, it's Colorado. And Drake, we just talked about, they were a dumpster fire down the stretch.
Yes,
people are still watching their games.
Teams don't get a lot of exposure.
They don't. Like they were still getting the Pac-12 after dark primetime slot. They were getting ESPN televising their games. Pac-12 network didn't get a lot of Colorado games. And I think if it was a normal Colorado year where if Carl Durrell was the coach, they'd only be on the Pac-12 network the whole season. So media attention matters, popularity matters, and Colorado has both those things. And realistically, there's 4 types of college football fans. You like college football, you like Colorado and Coach Prime, you like Colorado and you just don't really care, and you hate Coach Prime. All those people have one thing in common. They all are going to watch the biggest story. And whether you like it or not, television companies, ESPN, the conglomerates, they want people to watch their games when it's on their network. And what better way to do it than have Deion Sanders parading around the sidelines, saying something crazy at halftime, having its personal chant or having sunglasses, whatever it is. No one else in the Big 12 has that allure. It just is. It is what it is.
How long until Colorado competes for a Big 12 championship?
I say next year they could come semi-close. They'll be in the conversation until they fall off. They have a tougher schedule. Realistically, I think 3 years, like the second year from now. So 2 years from now, excuse me. I think they just need more development. Like I said, the trenches doing this thing where it's like, we're just going to go out and get the best offense lineman we can in the portal every year. Same thing with the defense line. It's not going to work. I did a breakdown on my show. I went through the top 15-ish linemen from last year's portal. Majority of them were bad, didn't start, and just like wasn't what that team needed. Auburn had a few of them. Miami had a really good lineman, but there's just a lot of programs out there that need offense linemen, and offense linemen aren't like the sexy NIL guys. They're not going to be leaving one school to go get an NIL deal elsewhere. That's not how it works for the big boys up front. Unfortunately, we love those thick kings though. We do. It's just, they don't get the NIL deals. They don't enter the portal for no reason. And so I say it on my show all the time. I still say it. Their line is improving in the portal. It's better than what it was last year, because that was a FCS line at best. But is it going to be as good as they need it to be? And until they're good there in the trenches, it doesn't matter, because you have to stop the run in the Big 12. Those cold games in November when you're in Ames, Iowa, and Matt Campbell's talking about three-star culture, whatever it is, whatever he says, you have to stop the run there, because Iowa State's not going to be airing it out. Same thing with Baylor. They like to run the ball. They like to be physical. Oklahoma State literally made a living running the ball. They ran their way to the Big 12 title game. And if you can't stop it, you can't do it, it's not going to work out. So I think they could compete in the next couple of years. It's just a kind of a mind reset that they have to give themselves.
Kevin, if listeners of Locked On Big 12 want to find more of you, where can they go?
You go at Kevin_Borba, as you can see down there. I'm at Locked On Buffs. We just hit 4,000 subs. We're trying to catch up to big Mr. Drake Toll over here. He's doing it big. But yeah, I'm over at Athlon. I'm all over the place writing about a team you care about, probably. So come check me out. Come debate me. Make sure if you come at me, don't make it longer than 2 sentences. I won't read it all. I promise you I won't.
That is Kevin Borba of Locked On Buffs. Thanks for making Locked On Big 12 and Locked On Buffs your first listen every single day. Come back next week. We'll be giving you all there is to know about the best of the Big 12, including Colorado. This has been and always will be Locked On Buffs and Locked On Doce Grande.
There you go.